All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is Migrants Are Fed Up with Chicago. They're heading home. Guys, listen. What's interesting about this is a lot of these people that are coming, specifically, they're from excessively warm places. Why would you choose Chicago? Yes. Like, why would you even do that? Right? That's a weird one for me personally, guys, right? But either way, we're going to go ahead and check this out immediately. Let's jump into it.
So many of these sanctuary cities now unable to keep up. In Chicago, for example, a group of people who came out of Venezuela, all the way from Venezuela with hopes of a better life. They've been living on the streets. They say, we're going back home. One of them declaring the American dream doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez with me now. Sir, how you doing? Good morning. I saw this story. I said, this is wacky. How many people are we talking about?
Chicago has seen 20,000 migrants appear on our streets since August of last year. We've got nearly 3,000 living in police stations, 800 living at O'Hare Airport, and thousands more just floating around in between shelter to shelter. And I'm sorry that they don't like our weather. I'm sorry that they feel that we're not doing enough to give them jobs, housing, vehicles, cars, food, shelter, clothing, and everything else that they were promised by social media.
Guys, people from America, like as in the citizens of the United States of America, actually have to work really hard to achieve what they think that they were going to get for free. All right. That's just the reality of things. And honestly, there's an overwhelming majority of people who actually never even come close to what the American dream was at one time. Is the American dream dead? Yeah, it's been dead for a long time, and it's been dead for us. Right. So you cannot come here and expect for you to be treated better than the actual citizens of the actual region, bro. Right? That's craziness.
But the system works if you do it the right way, and declaring asylum because you need a job isn't the right way, and they're learning that reality the hard way now.
Well, the truth is, our law does not offer asylum if the question is economic.
Economics, yep.
You know, the question: Are you under hardship? Are you being persecuted? Are you being religiously persecuted? I don't know how many coming across the border can check all those boxes.
Yeah, bro, probably 5%, if that. Like specifically coming from countries that are extremely repressive. These people probably can say that they are being, threatened or they feel for their lives, guys, right? But when it comes to you doing all of this for economics, that's not asylum, bro. At all.
Anyway, number of migrants bused to Chicago out of Texas alone per Governor Greg Abbott as of November 11th, so a couple days ago, more than 18,400. Here's the money Illinois has spent on humanitarian aid for migrants. You're over $330 million, which, by the way, is cheap compared to New York.
New York, right.
I'm going to read you a quote from one of the Venezuelans saying, "How many more months of living in the streets will it take? No more. It's better that I leave."
Well, I'm sorry that they feel that way, but Chicago
don't apologize.
Taxpayers shouldn't be on the hook for paying these bills. And that $330 million bill, that's just what the state of Illinois is paying. The city of Chicago is committed to paying $255 million this year alone, on top of all the other amenities that all the other layers of government are providing, including our schools. It's simply not sustainable. And the fact of the matter is the federal government has failed in this moment to not only secure the border, to address the asylum seekers, and to provide for their well-being.
That's the point.
Since they're putting cases 6 years away.
You're exactly right. That is the point. You shouldn't have to apologize for people who aren't happy with the treatment they're getting in Chicago. They made a decision to leave their homes. And unfortunately, they're still not happy. In the meantime, the people who live in your state are paying millions, if not billions of dollars eventually.
And guys, and keep this in mind, they didn't have that money allegedly. Like the reason why the south side of Chicago is not fixed and looking beautiful is because allegedly the state of Illinois didn't have enough money to actually do that. There were always excuses given for why places like this shouldn't be a desert any longer, for example, right? But as soon as these people come, you find $300 million, state of Illinois, that's fishy, bro, right? But of course the locals are going to be absolutely upset that you're doing this. This could not last and will not last for very long.
You don't need to apologize.
No, I think you're absolutely correct, Bill. I think it's in my nature, just as a good Christian, to try to help people. But at the end of the day, I'm not responsible for this failure. We've seen our president and our vice president come to our city numerous times. They're hosting the Democratic National Convention here in several months, and yet they still allow us to be the guinea pig for this failed policy of allowing individuals to come here for asylum with no support, to allow sanctuary cities to be the magnet that sends them here, not only from people like Abbott, but from Democratic states as well, who have all jettison their sanctuary city policies while we hold steadfast to ours. Our voters have said they want enough, have had enough, and they want to vote on that topic in the city, and hopefully we can give them that chance.
I just want to read this. Governor Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, his letter to President Biden in October: the humanitarian crisis is overwhelming our ability to provide aid to the refugee population. Unfortunately, the welcome and aid Illinois has been providing these asylum seekers has not been matched with support by the federal government. So he's asking for more money. Just last comment, then we got to roll.
You know, the sad part is, I think many in my party are viewing the migrant crisis as their next COVID-2 money grab. You know, we've seen a lot of money come to Democratic cities to help cover the costs of COVID, and now the big $5 billion ask is now we need more money to help cover the migrant crisis. Crisis to crisis, the federal government they keep asking for more money to help cover our costs. It's simply not sustainable.
Raymond Lopez, thanks for coming on. I still love your town.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay? All right.
And guys, we definitely know that it's not sustainable based off of inflation, right? Because if it was, then inflation would not have happened the way it did, right? I mean, the reason why things happened like this is because they had to print a large quantity of money, literally more. Like, our debt currently is more money than we've ever had before, like 2016, guys, right? It's crazy, right? So, I mean, with all the money printed, it's obvious that it's not sustainable. Because the longer and the more that we have to pay for these type of things, generally, the less our money saved up is worth. Think about that for a second, because it's absolute craziness. We are destroying our nation specifically to help another nation. That's not reality. And specifically with the majority of people who are literally saying this is not acceptable behavior, specifically coming from people that have been elected. It's not. Yes. So what can be done here? I think that's the question I always end up kind of sitting on for a second. I do think that that Chicago specifically is going to kind of flip based off of a lot of the information that we've seen recently from Chicago. They no longer have any interest in the people that they elected. So that says that's a pretty strong determining factor on what on how they're going to vote, I guess, going forward, guys, right? And if the Illinois government is not actually helping the localities that are there, right? I mean, this is an issue. You need to help them. They've been paying the taxes for a very long time, and for them to get nothing while others get everything, it's absolutely wild. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.